I'm ready. Good evening, candidates. District 33 Showcase Candidates. This showcase provides an opportunity for our members of the district to listen to the district and international officer candidates answer questions related to district and Toastmasters International Services. All nominated and floor candidates, opposed and unopposed, are invited to participate in this showcase. Each candidate will be asked one question and allowed to give a closing statement in 3 minutes, 3 minutes allotted for each candidate. The timing will be green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2.5 minutes, and red will be 3 minutes. We will end at 3 minutes with applause. In the contested race, the speaker will speak alphabetically as indicated on the agenda. The first candidate will remain in the room to participate. All other candidates for that position will go to the breakout room. All candidates in the contested race will answer the same question. They will not hear each other's answer. I will call the office and each candidate by name as an introduction. Please call, thank you. That is the introduction. If there's any questions regarding this, please let us know at this time. But right now, we are asking, I know there was plenty of confusion, lots of confusion as to how we was going to ask the question. I'm going to ask you a question. Your 3 minutes began as soon as you began answering. You're going to take as less time as you can to answer that question that I ask you. And the remaining time of the 3 minutes, you will talk, you will say what your closing statement. Am I clear, or does someone have questions? There's no questions. Then
Who's the timer that we should pin?
Pin our timer, please.
Who is the timer?
Clarice Cresser is our timer.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, we will begin. And I will begin with our dear Jesse Oakley. Jesse Oakley, I've known him since 2010, when we began our first Toastmaster Y Talker Club that is my home club. Jesse was one of the first persons that came to our club to introduce himself with his district director. The next time I saw Jesse, it was just such a pleasure to see him at the district conference. Jesse has been a part of District 33 all along. He continues to be a member of District 33, and now he's a member of District 115. He's been a regional advisor. He's a distinguished Toastmaster. Now I would like to introduce to you our international candidate, Jesse Oakley.
For the past 2 years, our organization experienced challenges: decrease in membership, increase in suspended clubs, and burnout for some members who remain. Madam District Director, fellow Toastmasters of District 33, and most welcome candidates. In my 20 years of engineering experience, I developed strategic planning skills that allowed me to overcome the challenges of planning and building roads, bridges, and highways. As mentioned by Flora Turner, in my 20 years of Toastmasters experience, especially in District 33 and District 115, I served as District 33 Governor in 2012 and 2013. I served as Region 2 Advisor from 2016 and 2017. And I was the 2015 Host District Co-Chair, along with my wife, Dana Oakley, of the Toastmasters International Convention in Las Vegas, Nevada. During my leadership skills, I experienced many challenges and overcome different challenges along the way. Before I even served as Region Advisor, Region 2 had 0 distinguished districts. My mission as a Region 2 Advisor is not only to connect with the district leaders in Region 2, which also include District 33, I also had a chance to connect with the community as we do better to improve our membership, our number of clubs, and our distinguished clubs. And in the end of my Region 2 role, we had 3 out of 7 distinguished that were distinguished for better, including right here in District 33. We had a fantastic experience. And for myself, I noticed that we can overcome any challenge, especially in today's time. Fellow Toastmasters, leaders of District 33, we have the ability and we have the power to accomplish and conquer the challenges that we face today. We have a chance to get up, we have a chance to move forward, and we have a chance to own our power. If you're looking for a candidate, a person who will serve the board and work hard for you and stay the course, look no further than yours truly and vote for Jesse Oakley III, Distinguished Toastmaster, International Director Candidate, Region 2. Madam Toastmaster.
Do we lose Flora? I think Flora left.
Yeah, she got knocked off.
Was it something I said?
Our next candidate is my friend, distinguished Toastmaster, Deborah Almond. Deborah, are you ready for your first question?
Yes.
Deborah, when working with a group of peers, describe your decision-making style.
Okay. That is a great question, Flora. But I'm gonna talk to you in terms of tennis, because I think that will best explain how I handle different styles with peers in a decision-making process. When you're a tennis player, you have a strategy that you play a person that you don't know, that basically is just a simple strategy that works for you, uses your strengths and common weaknesses. So my strategy for tennis is to hit to the back baseline. It's to hit to the backhand, which is usually the person's weakness, and then to hit varieties of shots. When you aren't winning, what happens is you have to be flexible and adaptive. That flexibility is being able to use different types of styles of play, maybe spin, maybe take your, instead of hitting pace, hitting it off pace, making them work for things, for making the points. Leadership and tennis are different. In tennis, you are trying to win. In leadership, you have a common goal with your group of people. When you are an accomplished leader, you have the same set of skills. They're well balanced. Typically, you would call them directive, analytical, expressive, and affiliative. You use all of those in balance. You can communicate with people that have those skills rather than just using your own base skill. So that is how I look at making decisions with peer groups. I have 1 minute left. I was going to tell you a story about a club that I formed as a result. It was the first year of the pandemic. It was May. We had 2 months left. I was selected, distinguished, and I just in one great moment decided I was going to form a club that was an advanced club. So I didn't have to wait for a community, people to join. It was chartered in 15 days. And it was something that Deepak Menon told me. He says, when I was a division director, we were able to charter one club per week for 6 months. So his idea opened up my own being, I guess. And when I had that opportunity of taking that next step to President's Distinguished Area, it came back to me, and it was one of the most thrilling leadership opportunities I've ever had. I think I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Deborah Almond. The next person I would like to call on, another wonderful Toastmaster that has served our district well. That person and not candidate is Tan Phan. Tan Phan will serve as our program quality director. Tan.
Okay, good afternoon, members of District 33. Thank you for the introduction, Madam Showcase Chair. I'm Tan Phan. I am running for Program Quality Director. I have been a Toastmaster for 6 years and a proud member of 6 clubs in our 5 district. I'm currently serving as Club Growth Director. I'm running for a Program Quality Director because I see tremendous opportunity to apply my leadership skills and organizational skills in creating and training valuable training opportunities for every member in our district. And to grow the proficiency with pathways, I will employ a team of Toastmasters to lead workshops and office hours in order to orientate and provide familiarization to every Toastmaster member and base camp manager in our district. And this will be a great resource for our clubs as they try to gain familiarity with the online training program. And then to help clubs achieve distinguished status or higher, the Program Quality Committee will assist club officers in planning and executing club success plans throughout the year. And this will help clubs achieve their goals and fulfill their maximum potential as a club. And Toastmasters has done wonders for me as an engineer and as a manager and a parent. And I've built many valuable relationships here across the district and as well as within other districts. I want to apply my leadership and continue my leadership journey, serving you as the Program Quality Director. So I humbly ask for your vote for me, Tan Phan, as Program Quality Director for District 33. Madam Showcase Chair.
Thank you, Tan Phan. Some of the educationals I won't be calling out, but you see them on the agenda. Tan, I forgot to ask your question. Guess what? I'm going to go back and ask you this question, Tan. Will you provide an example of when you developed a strategic plan and it was implemented successfully?
In order to achieve a strategic plan, a leader and that person's team needs to understand where they want to get to, where's the end of the road, and the results. So the strategic plan is really results oriented. The team will be understanding the requirements. And in this case, as an engineer and a manager, I had the requirement to build a new team of engineers and logisticians to deploy a new weapon system for the Department of Defense. In order to get there, we started off with a core group of 5 knowledgeable engineers. But to sustain the technical competency and support the US Navy, we had to grow the team in a very short amount of time in order to install and support our systems on board ships. So as a manager, I had a strategic vision to grow internally and organically, train engineers within the civilian world, and hire contractors to help support them, to bring in expertise from outside in the technical community. And within 6 months, our team grew from 6 to 27 members. And that group of engineers and logisticians today still supports the directed energy projects for our Department of Defense. So the strategic planning really is to try to understand the requirement and the end goal of supporting our customers in the US Navy and the United States. So building that and be able to sustain the personnel and to continue to motivate them throughout the very tough program is one of my goals as part of strategic planning.
Thank you so much. And I apologize that you had to talk twice, but it's all good. The next office will be Club Growth. Now, Club Growth, we have 2 candidates. One of our candidates, which will be Nico Martin, will be moving on to the breakout room. Is Nico in the breakout room, Dennis?
Not yet.
Okay,
And then we'll come and get you.
and then we'll come back and get you. We won't
Yeah.
leave you there.
Okay, looks like he's in.
Thank you for that.
No, Nico, I still see him.
Nico. All
I
right,
still got him here with us.
let me try again. Let me open the room for, maybe that's it, open.
Okay,
Let me see here.
I see the breakout room.
where I see David. Oh, I see David.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Did he go yet?
Nope, he's still here.
I gave him the message.
Okay, he went away this time.
Okay.
The next candidate that I would like to introduce will be none other than my friend that I've been trying to get to be a club growth director for a few years now. And that person is distinguished Toastmaster, David Almond. David, I would like to ask you one great question. And that question is, what is your plan to promote the organization to corporate leaders and community organizers?
Laura, thank you very much for that question. I can't believe you asked me that one because that's the one I was hoping that you would ask. This is a question that I think is going to show us exactly where Toastmasters is going. Everybody here knows that I've been a Toastmasters for more years than a lot of people maybe in our audience have even been alive. But I think that it's always been because it's been such a bright, shiny object for me. It's always been something so attractive, something for me to come back to and have fun. But sometimes that wears off. And then I have come back. And the reason I keep coming back is because Toastmasters gives me transferable skills. Toastmasters gives everybody transferable skills that they not only use in Toastmasters just so that they can run a meeting, but they can use in the rest of their lives. They can use it in their relationships at home, at work, any place that they go. The skills that we learn as Toastmasters are just transferable every place. And if we're going to be talking to people in the corporate world, as you asked, we have to be able to impress upon them how the transferable skills in Toastmasters will actually increase the quality product that you're going to be putting out on their job site. We have to make sure that the people in leadership at the different corporations understand that they're going to be bringing people in and to our club, and they're going to be walking out with measurable differences that we can report to them on a regular basis to show them the skills that they're earning, the skills that are going to contribute to them as human beings, as workers, as people that will hopefully be taking over different plateaus in their business as it goes along. Transferable skills is the #1 thing that we need to promote to the corporation that I think will encourage them to want to bring Toastmasters into their corporation. Now, for the rest of my 3 minutes, I want to talk to you about why I wanted to be a Toastmasters leader. And I think that covered a part of it here right now. I want to talk to you about my 2 dominant characteristics, my 2 greatest skills. My two top greatest skills are that I'm gregarious, I'm approachable, I'm dependable, I'm friendly, I'm consistent, and I'm positive, and I can count really well. So, but I'm also living proof that you can run a Toastmasters meeting in spite of the fact that you may not be having a good hair day. But what we need to do is we need to realize that what Toastmasters really does for us as individuals, because as a leader in Toastmasters, it doesn't matter what your post is, you still have to remember it's about the individual member. So everything that every decision we make has to consider the individual member and how they're going to be able to grow and prosper. I can't see Grace, by the way, and I did tag her. So I'm gonna wrap this up really fast. Consistency, vulnerability, and positivity. Those are the three things that I really want to bring out to Toastmasters. These are the things that I want to display. These are things that I want to show as a leader. And anybody that's been around Toastmasters since well before the pandemic starts, they know I was never one to sit around, that I was always one to contribute, always one to be in front. And so if we make sure that we get back to that, to where we are all participating, to where we are just leading, and find out how enjoyable it can be. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You'll see the red. Clarice Cresser is our timer. And when I see the red that Clarice put up, I'll do this to give everybody the warning.
I pinned her, then I lost her completely. So
yeah, but it's okay. That's why I'm gonna applause. And everybody else can applaud. We won't hear you, but you can applaud as well. Help me out. Okay, the next candidate will be Nico Martin for Club Growth Director. Nico, what is your plan to promote organization to corporate leaders and community organizers?
Thank you for that question. Corporate clubs are a major foundation of Toastmasters International. Not everyone belongs to a corporate club, but there are many corporate clubs that exist in District 33. The first thing I would do is to organize committee for club growth and committee for club retention that will strategically plan to promote the organization to corporate leaders. We will do demo meetings, do testimonials of successful clubs. And when I joined Toastmasters over 3 years ago, my aim was to do speeches and be the best at it. However, when I became a club officer, my goal changed. I started to dream of a journey to the top of the Toastmasters leadership. Now serving as a leader is my way of giving back, as Toastmasters made me a better version of myself. I am no longer afraid to stand in front of a crowd and speak out. In fact, I am now very confident. Yes, taking on leadership role is my way of giving back by providing values to Toastmasters. As your club growth director in the future, if elected, I will exert tremendous effort into trying to ensure that we have the most successful clubs in Region 2. And then we will build brand new clubs. That way we can continue the sustainability and vitality of District 33 in the future. I believe that my specific skill set will allow me to be a very effective club growth director and an honorable member of the trio. In Toastmasters, I believe that we can achieve great things if only we can try harder. Then we will be able to feel like a big person on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like a single dynamite can make a big explosion. We only have words to communicate in Toastmasters, but we can connect, lead, and get things done. Finally, please vote for me as your new club director, club growth director, because together we will accomplish our goals. And you can count on me. I know for sure that I am not scared to be seen, not afraid to say yes to opportunity, love this life, and would prefer to live this world exhausted. Back to you, Showcase Chair.
Thank you so much, Nico Martin. Our next candidate or division directors. We're going into division directors now. We're done with the trio and the international. So we're going to go to division directors, and I will start off with Division A. Division A, Distinguished Toastmaster Leslie Boyle. Leslie has been a
Oh.
Toastmaster. I've been in a club with.
I'm sorry, I put her in the waiting room. I've got it backwards, sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem. No problem. Leave her there. We'll put Robert. We'll talk to Robert then. Okay, Robert Ortiz, one of my favorite people because of the fact that he's in a couple of my clubs and we have had lots of time together. So Robert, what I'd like to ask you, Robert Ortiz, what I'd like to ask you as division director, many division directors have a significant lack of accountability. What do you propose to improve on that?
Wow, that's quite the challenge. As in past conversations, we are a nonprofit organization, and it is very difficult to get people to have the same mindset as you. So accountability is the only way that we can measure ourselves, and believe me, it is a difficult task. And so for myself, one of the ways that I try to make people accountable is to, when they take measurements of their own, if it's their own club, their own area, is to try to get them to understand that the measurement of what they're overseeing is also reflects on you as well. So with respect to accountability, your success is based on your customer success, and it goes throughout the division. I'm not a big meeting person. However, I do correspond a great deal. I've met with many offline through work, at work and everywhere else that I can have conversation. And it is difficult. Accountability is something that you have to tread very lightly on because you can only push so hard. It goes back to one of the other speakers earlier today about being able to balance yourself. For myself, I meet with people across the world, Belgium, Malaysia, and we're all doing the same thing, the Zoom. And there is that fine balance of how hard you can push before you have to not retreat, but absorb more and more and try to understand where they're coming from. One of the benefits of making people accountable that I found out was reiterating their view. And once I hear their view, then I go ahead and present my view and try to absorb as much as I can into what they're trying to accomplish, as well as what I'm trying to accomplish. As a division director, you have to try to weigh them in to your direction that you would like to go without stepping on their toes. Okay, you got to maintain that their confidence as well, but they have to understand the goal of the district, the goal of the respective offices, and you try to instill that in them and try to make them accountable for those DCPs, because that's the main emphasis of everything. One of the things that I try to make accountable most is just the pathways. Back to you, Madam Showcase Chair.
Thank you, Robert Ortiz. Now we can bring Leslie Ball back in the room. Leslie Boyle, Division A. She is running for Division A Director, as well as Robert, which this is a contested office. Leslie has been a hardworking person in Division A. And Leslie, I would like to ask you to tell us about a time when you encountered a problematic situation in your work. How did you manage this?
Thank
Oh,
you.
excuse me, don't answer that question. That's not your question. Pardon me. I have to ask you the same question I asked Robert, okay? So I have to go back. Many division directors have shown a significant lack of accountability. What do you propose to improve on that?
Thank you, Flora, for that question. As a past area director, I have some experience with the interactions with the division directors and the area directors and their communication with presidents and VPEs. And I think there needs to be more accountability. And if we could get them on a schedule, I think training is really the key word that I'm seeing. As I was thinking about applying for this position, what could I bring to this district? And I think a revamp of training for our division directors and our area directors, I think there needs to be some structure, more structure and accountability. You know, the businesses are all asking for surveys. I think it would help if we got a survey from the club members when the area directors did their visits, and when the division directors meet with the area directors, send a little survey out to make sure they are doing their thing. One of the things I noticed when I was area director is that not every area director comes and speaks to the clubs. I think that was really important to do that. And I learned that from Stephanie Farrington. Whenever she came, she had a new tidbit of information to share with the clubs. And I realized she was our connection to Toastmasters International. And I think that's really important to really do your job well. And I think more communication and training. But as I'm looking around, we've all noticed in the past couple of years, we're all struggling, including Toastmasters. And I remember when our clubs were full, every seat was taken. I remember when we had to buy a new table to accommodate all the people. We had 3 speakers lined up, all the functionaries were filled. And I think we can get back to that. And how are we going to do that? Well, one thing I think we can do is get back to basics. Why don't we start doing the induction ceremony on a more regular basis? And that means reading the Toastmaster Promise out loud, pinning our members, connecting them with a mentor right away. I think these induction ceremonies will instill in our members a love and respect for Toastmasters, and we will see these clubs grow. I think we need to build our clubs and get those points and treat it like a baseball team. You know, let's bring in those points so we can all be Smedley distinguished and presidents distinguished. There's a lot of things we can do. I think training, I have quite a few things that I'd like to suggest if I win, but helping the VPE, since they're the backbone of our clubs, I think as a VPE, I could have certainly used more training. Maybe we need a VPE committee and have VPE workshops, because I found the amount of training 2 times a year, 20 minutes, was just not cutting it. I'd like to see help with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Wonderful, wonderful. My next candidate is Division B. And that person's name is Ryan. And Ryan, you have to help me with your last name.
Voy Teller.
Boy?
Voy with a V.
Boy Teller. I thought that was a W. See, that's why you had to help. Okay, Ramad, I know you've been very successful in Division B. So I would like you to answer this question as to say, what leadership skills and experience can you bring to the district?
Thank you for that question, Flora. I would say the skills I could bring would be a compunction to serve, as well as a passion for rapid, clear, transparent, and widespread distribution of information. In my place of work, I'm employed as a computer scientist in the same kind of place that Tan is. And I've noticed in my work that computer scientists, although they are really happy with the technical nature of the work, I've noticed a distinct lack of standardization of more administrative procedures, how to create documentation in the same way, how to keep it organized, how to keep everyone's tasks in line, that sort of thing. And as an area director, I've noticed a similar lack in how the communication is disseminated in the Toastmasters community. I didn't really come across any standard formalized procedure for how information is to be communicated. And that, I think, is something that I could help out with. I think the most important aspect of a division director's job is that of communication. The division director's two primary aims are supporting their area directors and keeping district leadership updated on how their division is doing. And both of those things are firmly rooted in how effectively the division director is able to gather and present that information. It is the division director's duty to identify what information is needed regarding the clubs in their division, communicating those needs to their area directors, then following up with the area directors in order to collect the gathered information, which is then compiled into a report and presented to district leadership. Within this general outline, though, there lies hidden some subtle finesses of communication that an effective division director must employ. The area directors need to be told clearly and specifically exactly what information they need to gather, and there should not be any guesswork on the part of the area directors as to what information they need to get. The area directors need to know exactly in what format and by when all that information needs to be gathered, and they need to be provided the tools in order to aid them in their collection. The information that has been compiled into a report consistent with how district leadership indicates they'd like to receive the information so that they can very quickly look at it and get everything that they need. Beyond direct communication with area directors and with district leadership is indirect communication with all of the members of the district. Publicly and widely publishing important dates and requirements is an excellent way of keeping everyone informed and operating smoothly. The performance of a division director, that is the health of the clubs for which they're responsible, is directly tied to their ability to effectively communicate both procedures and information. Madam Showcase Chair.
Thank you, Ryan. For Division C, we have two candidates. Our first candidate will be Michelle Reed, and Craig Witt will go to the breakout room.
Looks like I think Craig is in the room or breakout room.
Okay. Michelle, I know you've been working hard in Division C, or is this your first term of leadership in Division C? So my first question to you will be, who was the most influential mentor in your journey in seeking a position of district leadership?
Thank you for that question, Madam Showcase Chair. I saw that question and I thought, I don't want that question because there are too many people to thank. However, for this position directly, I would have to thank Nico Martin, who was my previous area director and my current Division C director. He's the one who encouraged me to apply. And of course I said, no, not ready for that. But I wanted to support him. So I applied, sent in my nomination for this position. If I would have known that you would be having this showcase and we would have to record our speeches on YouTube, I would not have applied because I tend to like to stay in the background. However, I am grateful that he encouraged me to, and I'm grateful for all the support and positive feedback he's given me. I truly have enjoyed being area director this year. It's been an honor. Someone mentioned the induction ceremonies, and that was the biggest high in the beginning of my term as area director. Those are so fun. I advise everyone to do that for each of their clubs. You get this sense of enthusiasm and excitement, and you see the reason why we're in Toastmasters. We're all here to support members become better communicators and competent leaders and spread the word of Toastmasters. I believe in this organization, and that's why I'm still sitting here, even though I don't really want to be speaking on YouTube, because I believe in Toastmasters, and I think that more people, they just don't know that they want to be in a Toastmasters club, but we are going to find them. We're going to invite them, and once they come to the meetings, they'll get hooked, just like all of us. I know many of you are members of several clubs. I am only in 2. One is an additional one, but mainly one. So my goal as Division C director would continue to be a support to all the clubs. I think the club is the main essence of Toastmasters. Any kind of success that we have is down to the club. So the more training and experience that they have, the more enthusiasm that the members have for their personal club, the more people are going to want to give speeches, complete their paths, attend meetings, invite friends, and grow their club. I think the main essence of Toastmasters International comes down to the club experience. So I see my role as Division C director in supporting the area director, supporting their clubs in their areas. And that's yeah. I don't know if you have another question, but thank you, Madam Showcase Chair.
Thank you, Michelle. I knew you had been working hard in Division C. The next person or candidate, I don't know why I keep calling these people persons, your candidates, not persons, will be Craig Witt. Craig, I know you have been working hard in Division C. And my question to you is, who was the most influential mentor in your journey to seeking a position in district leadership?
Thank you, Madam Showcase Chair, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Who was the most influential person in my journey in Toastmasters and becoming an area director, now applying for division director? But it would be none other than my mentor at my club, my home club, More Park Toastmasters, Johnny Savito. Johnny Savito has been nothing but a godsend for me, helping me throughout the Toastmasters journey. I've been in Toastmasters for about 2.5 years. And I can remember the first day I joined Toastmasters, I came as a guest. I was very nervous. I don't think I said a single word for about the first 30 minutes. And here he is. Makes me feel very comfortable. And once I left that meeting, I thought this is the place for me to become a better speaker and to improve my leadership. And right off the bat, when I became a member, I didn't hesitate and selected him as my mentor. And he's been nothing but helpful with communicating, becoming a better communicator. And he always tells me to keep pushing myself and to always become better. And when I got that phone call about a year ago from Tan Fam, out of the blue, do you want to become an area director? Well, I thought about it for about 10 seconds and I just said, sure, why not? Let's give it a go. And the first person I called was my mentor, Johnny Savito. He was nothing but happy for me. He always likes to tell me how much he said in my growth, about how I've become, where I've started, being able to barely say anything, only go for about 1 minute in the table topics. Now he tells me I can't shut up. And that's something I've always, in the past 2 years at Toastmasters, I've just constantly have been thinking to myself, how can I better improve myself? This is nothing but for Toastmasters to me is nothing more than to just improve myself, keep improving myself, keep pushing myself. I really want to break out and become sociable, and also to really lead people. I'm just starting my career as an accountant, and Toastmasters has been, and I see as Toastmasters the best option for me to become a better leader, and hopefully one day and become by the time I retire, a successful person. Thank you, Madam Showcase Chair.
Thank you, Craig. We're up to Division D at this time. And is Yumi? Is it Spark-Q?
Sprague. Yumi Sprague.
Pray-Q. Well, Yumi, right?
Yes.
Yumi, happy birthday to you today.
Thank you
Yumi's
so
birthday
much.
is today. And she wanted to know how long were we going to be lasting today because she has to get to her birthday party. But Yumi, I'm sure this excitement of the showcase really is inspiring to you. The question that I'd like to ask you, please provide a specific example of when you have inspired a group of Toastmasters to take action to serve our members.
Well, that's a very good question, Flora. I think that I try to inspire Toastmasters in my 2 clubs at every meeting. I try to be available to them. I serve as a mentor to several members between 2 clubs. And one of the times a new Toastmaster came along and her goal was to give a TED Talk. And she wasn't sure whether Toastmasters was the right venue for that because she wasn't sure whether we could accommodate her goals. And I worked with her. I met with her. I made myself available through text, in-person calls, and told her that Toastmasters can really help her by adjusting the speaking time if needed, so that we could support her with her goals. And that made her feel more compelled to become a member, and she signed up and she's making progress. So this is just one example that I do in encouraging Toastmaster other members to continue with Toastmasters. I've been a Toastmaster since 2010. I wasn't a natural public speaker, and I had one too many incidents where I just became so nervous when I had to give a presentation in front of a large group of people because I was IT director and requesting for funds for IT initiatives. And I told myself, no, this has to change. And I went and visited a club, local club, Slow Noontime, and the rest is history. I was so impressed by how they ran the meeting, how warm they were, how inviting they were. So I became a member since that time. I took a little break while work was really stressful and demanding. So I took a break for probably a couple of years, and then I came back in 2020. To me, being a Toastmaster is like keeping your saw of communication and leadership sharpened at all times. And it has helped me tremendously with my career. And I am a retired IT executive, and I volunteer for 3 organizations. And all of that, plus Toastmasters, is really helping me grow as not only as a communicator, but leader and also a human being. Thank you, Flora.
Thank you. Now maybe you could go enjoy that birthday party you want to. Thank you. We're up to Division E, Grace, and I will be calling on Anna Romero. Anna, I know you've worked very, very hard in Division E. the first question I'd like to ask you is, where do you see yourself being in the next 4 years?
Thank you for that question, Flora. In the next 4 years, that is a long time. Here's the thing. Toastmasters has done so much for me in terms of widening my perspective of what it is that I want to do, because it's helped me actually speak in front of a group of people and communicate with them and lead with them. So when I'm thinking about the business that I'm setting up right now, it's a massage business, and I want to go out there and do workshops and speak in front of a group of people. And if you had asked me about this 15 years ago, let's say I wanted to do that business, I would have said there's no way, because I would never have wanted to speak in front of a group of people that just scared the living daylights out of me. So yes, that is exactly what I would want to do. And Toastmasters is exactly what I needed to make it happen. And this is why, Flora, this is why I actually want to be the Division E director, because I'm finding that with the whole Zoom pandemic issue going on, that we are seeing an isolation. And members are leaving Toastmasters, and I want to bring them back and say, no, don't leave. You can get so much out of Toastmasters. They're changing their priorities with it. They're just saying it's not as important. And I think that what we need is for people to be heard, to be listened to. Like, what is actually going on? How can we help you? I see this a lot with a lot of members who are only in one club, because they see their club and it's struggling and they think it's not worth it anymore, let's get out of here. And I don't see it with members such as Grace, who is in multiple clubs, many, many clubs. And it's because someone like that, someone like Grace, who knows what's going on in multiple clubs, knows we're all in this together. We all are struggling to some effect, and we can actually make this happen. So as Division E director, I want to connect everybody, collaborate all the clubs together so that they get to know each other once again. I think there's been this disconnection with that. And we have an opportunity that's coming up. If the trend continues, we'll be back to in-person. And with that, we'll need some advice about how to actually do that, hybrid meetings, how to actually connect. And hopefully through that, being able to connect everybody that way, we'll actually have more natural leaders come up who want to say, I want to be in Toastmasters. I want to be a club officer and an area director and even a division director in the following year. And this is what I hope for Division E, to actually create a big old family, because Toastmasters is so important. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. That is a very good question answered. I have here now Division F candidate Sunpreet Kumar.
I don't see them in the room.
Okay. Then we will move on to Division G, which is Michael Carrell. Hi, Michael. Michael, you've been working very hard in Division G. I know you have. I've heard good reports about you. Michael, what leadership skills and experience can you bring to the district?
Thank you, Madam Chair. When I came into Toastmasters 3.5 years ago, my goal wasn't to be in leadership. However, I found very quickly that that's where I'm supposed to be. As a marriage and family therapist, I help my clients move forward and work through the problems that they're struggling with, which is an easy process for me to do. This will allow me to bring more help to every club that I work with as the division director. By utilizing skills that I've had as a therapist, skills that I've had from the past in former positions prior to this career, I can help my clubs grow and help the district grow. My goal overall this year is to see Division G return to its glory state, to get it back up to distinguished or higher. Ultimately, my goal is to have every single club in our division reach President's Distinguished. It's going to take a lot of work. However, doing that with every single club, their officers, and the area directors, I believe it is achievable. As a Toastmaster, like I said, I came to Toastmasters 3.5 years ago, only to better myself in my speaking career. As a clinician, you sit in front of anywhere between 1 and a number of people. I was providing group therapy at the time. And unfortunately, I was struggling with all my filler words. When I joined Toastmasters, it was the right time and the right club to join. Since then, I have been able to achieve things that I never thought possible. Having a spouse who has a disability that is not as common as people would think. However, more common than we all actually believe. It has led me to find ways to help them and to make it known when things need to be changed. And therefore, I believe stepping into this role as Division G director will help all the clubs reach a status where they can be a club that welcomes anyone, regardless of anything that they face. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Michael. I would like to thank each and every one of you for giving up your Sunday evening at 3 p.m. to be here to join us today. I would like now to ask our District Director, Clarice Cresser, if she would like to have a word before we close out.
Thank you so much, Madam Candidate Showcase Chair. First, I want to thank you, Flora, for your time and preparing and all your coordination for this event, for this candidate showcase. This candidate showcase is allowing every one of our candidates to be able to showcase what they have to offer for the district. And so this showcase would not be possible without having you, Flora, to taking the helm and leadership. And we so appreciate your support and effort on this. So thank you. And I know that everyone here also agrees. So thank you so much. And I'd like to give us a round of applause and appreciation for Distinguished Toastmaster Flora Turner.
Thank you. Thank you.
Since I have all of you here and I want to inform you, this recording will be available and will be posted in the next day or so that other members of the district can get to know you from today's event. Not only for our district candidates, but also our International Director Region 2 candidate, Distinguished Toastmaster Jesse Oakley. When it will be posted this week, and the elections will take place on Saturday, April 30th, during the annual business meeting and the business meeting of the District Council. At that time, we will have other matters of business to conduct, but the election will be one component of that. We urge you to, like I said, I appreciate, and on behalf of the district, appreciate each and every one of you for taking that next step and taking on the next role and volunteering. And you were not voluntold. I know that you willingly volunteered and to take that next level of leadership. And no matter what the outcome of the election, you are all winners. And we are so grateful for your leadership, your support, and your dedication to be able to serve, but also continue your own Toastmaster journey to improve your communication and leadership skills. So with that, I thank you for your participation again on this Saturday. I thank Jesse Oakley for taking the time from Vegas, and all of our guests who were quiet in the background. I hope you found this helpful. We have members from not only District 33, but also former District 33 who will forever be members of District 33 from District 115. Thank you so much for your participation. One special note to our Zoom master. Dennis, thank you so much for taking on the role of Zoom master. So with that, I will close out, Madam Showcase Chair.
Yes.
And we will see you all on the
Wait.
conference April 30th.
1 second.